Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, why is this video today? So if you watch my videos, I'll make sure that video goes first. You have probably seen the video for the Mini that came as a non-runner with a completely different issue, but while we are on the car, because there's other issues with the car, the car is running now anyway, but the car has issues with the electric windows, lights, etc, etc. After checking powers and grounds, which most likely you have seen on that video, I'll leave the link in the description below, by the way. You've seen that powers and grounds are there, CON lines are there, or CON line, comfort CON line, but the module, this particular module, does not respond to my scanner, and electric windows don't work, among other stuff. So this particular module has the well, a little bit of background story, or a little bit of information here, I would say. These Footwell modules, or light modules, FRM, whatever you want to call it, they are quite prone to fail on the E generation, E series, so BMWs, on the Minis, R56, R57s I believe as well. They are quite prone to fail with the low battery, especially if the battery gets really low. They are prone to corrupt the FRM, the data inside the processor. The FRM, the module in this case, where is the cover? Where's the cover? Is there? Sorry. So the module in this case is this one here. Okay, so R56 high EKS. So it's a FRM 3R PL3. All the numbers in there, softwares, hardwares, etc, etc. To open this, literally is 4 little tabs on the sides. You just pull this, pull it down. It's no rocket science to open this. The processor in question is that processor in there, which is a... I know what it is if I look at it. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is a Freescale MC9S12 XEQ384, and the mask is the 3M25J. That's the most important part, is the 3M25J is the mask of this processor. Now, this processor has a virtual EEPROM, which is called D-Flash, and obviously you have the P-Flash, the programmable memory. Usually it's the EEPROM that gets corrupted, which is part of the D-Flash, and that's what we're going to do. Now, for you guys that sometimes keeps asking me, my X-Prog, I really need to get a new one. My X-Prog is extremely old, is the 5.0 version. I have it for many years. X-Prog is supposed to do this processor quite easily. Unfortunately, my one does not support that yet, and yeah, I need to upgrade it. So we're going to try to do it using the IM608. Another chance to show you a little bit more about it. So we're going to attempt to read the EEPROM on here. We're going to try to rewrite these again, rewrite the blocks on the memory for the EEPROM, etc, etc. Now, I was not to record this, to be honest with you. I was just go and look for someone that did this, and just put in the description below. There's so many people that did this already. It's a quite well-known issue. There's a lot of videos out there. I've never came across this issue. I think it's the first time, but I heard about it, and I think I've watched some stuff about it already. And honestly, I was not to record it, but why not? Another video for the collection, in case if you guys want to watch it. So the first thing we're going to do, so if I had X-Prog would show you how to connect this. There's plenty of information out there how to connect this. This is going to be connected out here, somewhere on these pads here, so in this area here. But we're going to do with the MaxiSys, because I'm pretty sure the MaxiSys can do this under BMW software. So with no further ado, let's going to go there. And let's going to do it. So let's going to unlock this. gonna go to programmer. Okay, there's a new version. I haven't connected the programmer for some time. Let it to update, and then we'll open this. Okay, I should have done my homework first. So the firmware has been upgraded. So we're gonna go to chip FRM MCU, chip read and write. Now we're gonna go to others. Gonna go to BMW. And now we're gonna look for the FRM XEQ384 light control module. Right. Oh, there we go. There it is. So, a brief explanation of how it works. Okay. Press OK. So, this is what we have. So, the first thing we're going to do is read. I don't want to mess with my P-flash, although I think we might going to do a copy of this. But for now, we're just going to go to D-flash. We go to schematics, so we know how this is connected. It's going to tell me how it's connected. There we go. So we're going to connect this accordingly to the diagrams, and then we'll carry on. Okay, and I marked on the board where everything goes. So it's only 4 wires, 4 connections. It's not rocket science. So 5 volts in there, reset in there, ground, and TR. Okay, so have my cable APA109, all my wires. I don't need all of this, but the first thing we're going to do is put a little bit of flux over these pads, just a tiny bit. Okay, boop. And now we are going to solder. Put a little blob of solder in each one. Just like so. There we go. Now my next step, which is something that I always do when I do this kind of stuff, which is somehow I'm going to take these out of this case, this plastic case. So I'm going to tape this so we then don't put any pressure on the actually solder, okay? Because otherwise we can rip the wires out of the board, although if we are very careful it should be alright. And with the cold, the tape just cracks like crazy. Let's see if I have some other tape. This one is better. Okay, so that we should be able to move this bit without putting much pressure over there at the back on the wires itself. So let's kind of solder these now. So let me do the 5 volts. Let me do the reset, which is going to be all these wires on the IM608 are marked. There we go, in there, reset. But they are also color coded. Come on. It's better if I just grab it like that. Okay. Now my ground. Again, it looks like my fingers are gonna be easier to do. And next is my blue, which is my TR. There we go. Connections are made. Now let's kind of plug these in and read it. Okay, and now we're gonna go back. And we're gonna go to, so we are on my D flash. Let's gonna try to read the flash. Actually, before that, let's gonna make sure we have 5 volts set at the voltage. Yes, there is, so that's fine. Okay, so that's gonna go. I don't think I need to set any validations. Nah, I don't need to. Validation, I believe, is like a verification. Well, am I gonna do that actually? For reading and for writing. Okay. Actually, we'll do it for everything. So voltage is already okay. So let's gonna try to read my D flash. That's not very good. That's why the module is done, because everything is empty. My EEPROM is corrupted and is empty. There we go. Let's just try to read my P flash then. Let's do a backup of the P flash, which should be intact. Usually the P flash does not really get affected by this. Come on, 5% is usually the tipping point. There we go, and he's reading the flash. So let it to read the flash. Okay, and he's now doing the second round because we selected verification or validation, as what they'll call it. He's reading again and he's comparing now against the data he just read. Otherwise, if we didn't select that on, would only read once and that was it. And there it is, all my data. Okay, and now we're going to save the file. So I put FRM Mini R56 and then the chip. We're going to save this. So successfully saved. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go back. We're going to go to D flash and we are going to write partition. Okay, that's fine. It's already empty. So set the partition. We're going to set this to 16, which will give you about 4 kilobytes of memory on your EEPROM. The flash is 0. Yeah, that's correct. There we go, 16 sectors. So your D flash is just a virtual EEPROM. So it's set to 0 kilobytes, which is correct. So my EEPROM is going to be 16 sectors, which will give me 4 kilobytes. So that's correct. Now we're going to write the partition, which basically what the Maxis is, or what the hotel is doing, basically is creating a new EEPROM, which is obviously empty. So now we're going to have to write some data in there. As you have seen, my my chip was already corrupted. I couldn't read nothing from it. So we're going to have to find a way of reading some data, of putting some data in there. Okay, and after a little bit of Google digging, I found a flash. Sorry, I found a EEPROM already for the same part number, so 3456395, which is exactly the same as mine. This EEPROM obviously belongs to a completely different car, so VIN numbers, nothing's going to match, but that's not important. The only important bit for me is that it allows the module to boot, and I gain communications with the module. If you watch the video for the Mini, you'll see that I get no communications with the FRM module at all. So that's what we're going to do. Is now I'm going to try to, well, this is already on a flash, on a flash. So we are going to that I was a little bit confused to which one. So I just read it. So obviously these are different VIN numbers. You can see right there at the bottom. The VIN number is different. So, but there is data here, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be good data. So let's gonna pull this out. Now I'm going to transfer this into the Maxi-Sys, into the hotel, why I keep saying Maxi-Sys, and try to flash this EEPROM into the FRM. Okay, and for you that have this tool and you've tried, you might have noticed that if you just plugged in a normal USB into this, you can't really copy data, or you can't copy the files you read, or files you want to transfer to here, or transfer from here to a USB. You can't do it. So there is other ways around. I usually do it through the network. It allows me to do it like that. So anyway, the file is already in here. So we're going to go now to my EEE, and we're going to do write. It's going to ask me which file I want to write, and I have a file here now, which is that one in there. So if you remember, that one was the P flash. That is the EEE that I've just took from from the other computer, the one I've downloaded. So we're going to select that EEPROM. I'll press OK. %5 is usually, there we go. Oh, beautiful. Now it's going to, yeah, now it's going to verify. Spot on. Let's press OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to read it. Which is okay on the D flash. So you see the difference now? There we go. So you remember the first time we tried, it told me was empty. Now we have some data in there. So now it should work when I plug it in. It should, I should be able to have communications with this module. And then I'm going to have to use something to program it back to the car, because obviously none of this will belong to this particular car we are working on. But as a last thing for this video, I'm going to show you that I have communications, and that and we'll see how the car behaves. Okay, and if you follow my video, you've seen that literally I've just finished the Scandican lines before I went to repair the module. So as you can see, the module is now plugged in. So I can see the windows moving up and down when you open and close the door. Was not doing that before. Okay, let's gonna start up this thing to warm me up, because it's absolutely freezing cold. It should start okay because I had it running this morning. There we go, straight away. That's good. Okay, without even checking if I have communications, let's gonna check one thing very quickly. If I have Windows working, that means my FRM is booting okay, and is a very, very, very good sign, which I didn't have before. Actually, before that, before I go any forward, I'm going to actually put right here, right now, some clips from the other video, so I can show you there was no communications, as you can see now here. So when I try to scan the car, it results in no communications, and it does it every single time. Electric windows don't work, as you can see as well. Lights are always on. I didn't show on this video, but there's no turn signals or anything like that either. And central locking doesn't lock as well, as you can see. And I had no interior lights as well, but I didn't show you that. So back to this video now. Let's see if I have electric windows. Oh, beautiful. There we go. So now I can guarantee you, if I go to history, I haven't scanned this car yet this morning. If I'm gonna go there, so let it boot, let it to load the program. There we go. Let it to do its stuff, and then let's communicate with our FRM. Most likely we're gonna have coding issues in there, and God knows what else. And there we go. So that's my first sign that I have communications with my FRM. As you can see, my chassis are wrong. So I'm going to select one because this is the correct one. And ideal now, what we have to do is obviously program the FRM to this particular car. But before we do that, let's gonna go to, actually I'm not gonna even do a quick auto scan. I'm just gonna go, it's not gonna be there, isn't it? No, it's not. It's gonna be in chassis. No, he's not. He's gonna be in body. So FRM, FRM2. It doesn't really matter. FRM, and there we go. We have communications. Boom. So we have our CAS module. Sorry, we have our Footwell module back to life. We have a couple faults here for the dipped beams, front fog light, E90 M3 daytime. So it's, I don't know. So there we go, right front direction indicator. So most likely this FRM obviously is, it looks like it's from a BMW or something like that, possibly from a different car, possibly with stuff that programmed to it that this car doesn't have. So obviously things are not going to work properly until we get it programmed. If I go to receive information, 2010, so that's fine. Let's try to see if was anything here that would show me, perhaps. Probably not. Okay, so guys, the next step now is to program the module. Obviously I'm not going to show you that part now. The main idea of this video was to show you how to bring your FRM back to life. Now you can use MaxiSys in this case. You can flash the FRM with the proper software, etc, etc. You can use Hyster if you have a Hyster that is capable and you have the correct software, etc, etc. There's other tools that can do it once you have communications, which we didn't have before, so you couldn't do nothing until we do this. As you have seen, it was just the EEPROM that was corrupted or blanked, but most likely because of a low battery, for a low battery event, and it corrupted the file, the module. So yeah, so I think if you want to see how we're gonna get around this now, if you haven't watched the other video, go in the description below and watch that video. And yeah, and that's it for this video, guys. That's how you bring an FRM back to life. If you have no communications and you have checked that you have powers and grounds and CAN lines all good, that's how you bring everything back to life. That's how you do it. And that's it for this video, guys. Obviously this applies not just to the Mini, it applies to BMWs, etc, etc. There's different FRMs with different processors that suffer from the same problem. Do your research, etc, etc. But hopefully the way I've showed you is somehow good enough for you to do this yourself. So with no further ado, guys, today is actually a quite nice day. It is cold, believe me, it is cold. Don't know what the temperature is outside at the moment. It's plus 1.5. It is cold, but it is sunny, which is nice for me to carry on working on this and hopefully finish it off today. Well, maybe not today because we still have the Glowplex problem. Anyway, that's a different video, guys. With no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information on this video you can find useful. If you do have any questions, any comments, please put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.